All right. Good morning, everyone. Sorry, we're a little bit late. My laptop is giving me some troubles, and if I drop off in a second, then for some reason it's not charging, and we're almost out of battery. But luckily, we have Andrew and Esty and Lawrence who will be running the show if I drop off. So. Yes, hello. Thanks so much for joining us. I think Esty especially, thanks for joining us during your vacation. That's very much appreciated. And we also don't want to keep you too long. I think you actually have to run off for a tour. So maybe we do this. Esty, you quickly introduce yourself and actually your open source projects right away. And then I think we can jump over to Lawrence, and I think we have Aris joining hopefully soon as well. So yes, do you want to introduce yourself and what you do?
I think there's someone that commented they can't see the stream from LinkedIn.
Can't see.
Yeah. But otherwise...
Okay, what can they not see? Let's see. I think it was just because we're coming on late, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, okay, never mind. I'll try to get this through. Hi, I'm Esty. So I'm currently a hobby software developer. Previously, I was at ThoughtWorks, but now I'm just taking a 1-month vacation, going around places that I couldn't be to due to COVID-19. I hope everyone gets a break like that sometime soon. So right now I'm in Perth and it's super cold here. But here I am because even though I'm on holiday, I still want to be part of Hacktoberfest. So I'm opening up my projects for OSS contributions. So let me share some of my projects. Let's see. Can you see my screen? Okay.
No, not as yet, Esty. I don't think it's screen sharing.
Okay, let me try again. How about now? Do you see anything?
I think your screen is showing us. Is that right? Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. Now I can see it. Okay, cool. So this is my GitHub profile. And you can see the few projects that are available for contributions here. So mainly the 4 here that are related to Supabase. BD is a build tracker app made with React Native. It currently has a Doxerous website that I briefly set up, but there's still a lot of room for improvement. So you could read through the contributing documentation and see what is available. And if you want to try out React Native and even start creating the web version of it, you can. So there are some cool things that are integrated here. And then like Autocricket is the project that I'm more excited about for this month because there's actually a lot of contributors helping out in this project. So Autocricket is a web app where you can perform some very cool common use case operations with GitHub. So you sign in with GitHub. This authentication is powered by Supabase, and then you can select things like delete your forks and repos, add topics to your repos, like say Hacktoberfest. You can add the topic easily to the projects that you want to participate as a maintainer. So that's pretty nifty. And then at the end, after Hacktoberfest, if you wish to remove the Hacktoberfest label from all your issues, you can simply run this app to see all of that. So for example, Unfold and Topic Space is something that I wrote from scratch, but then my contributors helped me to improve the UI and so on. Then for Unlabel, I think there's one contributor that just looked through the task list that I wrote in the issue and then created this by himself. So something like this, you can click on the label to be removed, and then you can see the labels that are available on each repo. So you can see the number of repos you have now and the repos you've created as well as forked. Something like this. Yeah, so that's quite helpful for maintenance. And then you can view what you have updated at the end. So something like this. You can see what you have removed, or if you use the other apps, you can see what topics and what labels you've added. Right? Then the other two projects we have Awesome Supabase, which is an awesome list that I started to accumulate like all the cool stuff about the community as well as like starter kits you can use. So official starters are the ones that are created by Supabase team directly. Community starters are some that I found in the community. And then if you want to move from say Heroku or other database providers, you can look around here to see if any of these fits your use case, and a lot of other cool resources and things you can make use of to make your Supabase experience even better. So this is also open for contributions. It's not code related, but it's just that if you find any awesome resource, you could make an issue and then create a PR to submit your submission here. Yep. So this one doesn't need code. If you find like some UI library that somehow goes very well with Supabase, you can contribute it here. Okay.
Although
Then
it's Markdown, right? So maybe
yeah.
Markdown could be considered code.
Oh, Markdown contribute code.
It's like Morse code.
Oh yeah, something like that. But I'm sure you can pick up Markdown much easier than like say actual coding templates. Or
That's
if
true.
you have like any app icon generators, or if you want to create the awesome Supabase icon here at the middle, feel free to make a request as well. Yeah.
Nice.
Then the very last GitHub repo that I have is generate Supabase database types. So I think I have a contributor called Alex Gailey. He has helped to migrate the action to use Supabase command line interface. So it will directly be the same as the types that you get if you run this command line tool directly. Right now in version 1.1, 1.0. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that you can work on if you find this action cool. Yeah. So that's the 4 projects. Any questions?
So
Yeah.
go on, Tor.
No, I was just saying that I had to move to my phone because the laptop gave up on me. So I can't really see if there's any comments, and I think actually LinkedIn might not be, the LinkedIn stream might not be working as well.
No, it's working now. The LinkedIn stream
Oh,
is
okay.
working. Yeah, I've tested it myself, and we haven't had any comments since.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
that's great, Esty. So yeah, we probably should paste the links in the comments or something so folks can pick them up. But yeah, I think Esty, maybe if you want to show your Twitter as well, and then folks can follow there. I know you tweet some good stuff about the projects you work on.
Okay. So this is my Twitter. Usually I'll just tweet stuff related to my projects and anything. So feel free to follow if you like the stuff that I'm doing and come and work on Hacktoberfest projects with me. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool. Esty, I'm actually gonna ask. It's a bit of a random question, but your GitHub handle, LYQHD. What does it mean something, or was it just random letters that you picked out?
If you change the Y to I and then the Q to G, it's light.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a common gamer kind of nickname where you just like change a bit of letters and hope it looks cool. But I think my nickname is too hard to pronounce for most people who didn't see the change. Yeah.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, I'm gonna try and shoot links to your project. So, do you have some issues already tagged with the Hacktoberfest?
Yes. So something like this. You can see that I
Cool.
tried to see like what issue is easier. I'll put the good first issue there, and then most of it have Hacktoberfest label. And if you don't see an issue that is there already, but you see the potential for room for improvement at the app, you feel free to create an issue, and I will see whether it's something that the project wants to go ahead with. If yes, then you can make a PR.
Okay,
All my
cool.
projects have the Hacktoberfest label.
That is good to know.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I think then, Esty, we're approaching the time for your tour. How are you liking Perth, by the way? Is it? Oh, maybe we shouldn't have mentioned that you're in Perth. Hopefully, it's a big enough city for people not to hunt you down.
Perth, I reached quite late yesterday, so I didn't get to explore much. But the food here is like triple the price of Singapore, so I'm like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. I think actually at the moment Singapore is pretty nice. I mean, prices are rising, but
yeah,
yeah, in terms of food, the variety and the price. I mean, of course, in Singapore you can eat out, at crazy places for very crazy prices, but also you have the hawker centers and the food
yeah,
stalls.
yeah.
So yeah, you should all come visit us in Singapore when you get a chance. It's nice. Oh, and I see we have Aris joining as well. That's great. So that's like a good handover. Esty, thank you so much, and enjoy your vacation, and see you back in Singapore.
All right. Thank you, Esty. Take care.
Thank you. Enjoy the happy hour. All of you actually like taking out the alcohol to like, no, no.
It's too early for me.
It's too late for me. It's like
Okay.
it's like midnight, right? So yeah.
Oh, yeah, understand.
I think
Okay.
they only won maybe Lawrence in terms of time zone.
I'm not old enough yet, unfortunately.
You're not old enough.
There you go.
Okay. Okay.
But that might only be because you're in the US, right?
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
If you go to Europe or something, you might be able to.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay. See you guys around. You can go already. Bye bye.
All right.
Thanks, Esty.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Awesome. Yeah. So Aris, I don't know if you saw, but Esty was just showing us some of the open source projects she's working on and looking for contributors for. Yeah, maybe should we continue, Lawrence, with yourself? You've participated in the last hackathon and won. I think, I don't know if you've received the swag yet, but I think you won.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Well, hopefully soon enough.
Hopefully,
I think
yeah.
we've sent you a super cap in the post. But yeah, maybe you want to introduce yourself a little bit and the open source project or projects that you're working on?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Lawrence. I'm part of the Supa squad, and today I'll be talking about Stripe Sync. And if you can share my screen, that'll be great.
Yeah, let's see. Okay.
Yep. Sure now.
Cool. So these are so Stripe Sync is a really easy way to sync your Stripe account to.
Lawrence,
I think we're seeing the wrong screen.
Oh no.
yeah, it's showing
Give me a second.
StreamYard.
Entire.
Yeah, I think you can select it.
Is this good?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
So Stripe Sync is a really easy way to sync your Stripe data, such as your payment intents, your subscriptions, everything into your Supabase database. And its setup is really simple as well. So first we'll go through a code demo. So first we make a Stripe object using the Stripe SDK, and then we'll create a Stripe Sync handler, and it's called create Deno handler from down here. And then we just pass in the database adapter, which is from Supabase. This should look pretty familiar to all of you. And we have our Stripe object, and we pass in our Stripe endpoint secrets and secret key, and then we just serve. And all of this is running on Supabase's Deno runtime. So this is using Supabase's edge functions, which means that you don't have to set up another Docker container or whatever just to handle your Stripe webhooks. It's all built into the Supabase ecosystem. And let's get to a quick demo, which will hopefully work. So here we have a table from the dashboard. This one is payment intents. And right now we have 46 records. Let's hop into the Stripe terminal, and let's trigger a webhook. Let's trigger a payment intent webhook. Stripe trigger payment intent created, maybe.
So you're using the Stripe CLI here, right?
Yeah, okay, it seems that I am not signed in. Let's try using a terminal. Okay, and hopefully I am signed into the right account. If I'm not, so we have 46 records. And now we still have 46 because I think I'm not signed into the right account.
Maybe, yeah, you can do Stripe. If you do Stripe login, I guess.
Stripe login.
Okay.
Yeah, I might have to actually log in, which might be. Oh, it just worked. Okay, I can trigger it from here now.
Let's see.
Trigger payment intent created.
Fun fact: the Stripe CLI is also open source.
Yeah. Wait, is this thing is the terminal down here also open source by any chance?
Oh.
Yeah, this is like built into the website. It's really cool.
Oh, okay. So actually, this happened probably after I left Stripe. That's cool. Yeah. Okay, I wasn't involved in that.
Okay,
That's
and
nice.
It seems that something is broken, so you'll just have to trust me that it used to work.
Do we want to try and debug it?
If you
check your dashboard logs.
Yeah, our logs here.
Do we? Yeah, I think either the Stripe dashboard logs, we can see if the webhook was sent. Maybe we start there. This is fun.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm like flying blind because I see it so small on my iPhone.
Yeah, I'm not absolutely sure if we can debug it right now, but it was working just a few minutes ago.
Okay.
But yeah, pretty much this package will handle webhook signing, and it'll verify that it's actually coming from Stripe. And this is a really common use case. If you're setting up Stripe, you probably do the same thing every time you want to listen to webhooks. Maybe it's because we're not listening to the right event, but it does seem like it should work, unfortunately.
So I think if you go in the dashboard logs, webhooks, and then does it show? The Stripe dashboard.
The Stripe webhooks.
Yeah, and then it says the response 200 okay, right? So
433.
But you don't you don't see the event. Okay, maybe let's try this. If you're in the dashboard, let's just create a payment in the dashboard. So
Great.
Stripe dashboard, go to payments.
Okay, test data.
So maybe the CLI is just kind of logged into a different account or something.
Part number.
Yeah, and then just 4242, the good trusty.
Great.
Fun fact, actually, Stripe bought the 424242 credit cards code, so to make sure that no one could ever issue in like actual credit cards.
You can buy that. That's
yeah. So you know, like MasterCard has certain, like MasterCards always start with like a five something, and then you have like certain I actually forgot the word for it. Like the first 6 digits of a credit card are that word that I forgot, and that is basically banks kind of purchase sort of these first 6 digits, which then they use to issue credit cards on those digits. Yeah.
nice. Yeah, and it seemed that it did work. It did work. We have 47 records now, so
Nice.
it's just
something with the CLI. Cool.
Yeah. And we have every table, at least all the ones that are supported by webhooks here, and you can. This comes from Stripe's API definitions, so it's a lot more comprehensive than some other options. And this project was inspired by Stripe Sync Engine, which is made by Supabase, but requires a separate Docker instance. And they're working on it's in progress, as you can see, as well as Sequin. Sequin is doing pretty much the same thing.
Oh, yes.
They're more robust for now, but if you're looking for a robust option, they're a pretty good option. But yeah, in terms of Hacktoberfest stuff, we have a lot of to-dos. If you'd like to contribute, I would appreciate it. And that's about all from me.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's funny actually, because I had like for the Supabase functions launch, I had like an idea for demo where it basically was port the Stripe Sync engine to Edge functions. But I never got around to it. And then I saw your hackathon project. And I was like, yes, it works. Someone did it. So that was very exciting. Maybe in terms of, you know, working on this, were there any challenges or any issues kind of that you encountered?
Challenges or issues? The hardest part was generating the SQL schema from Stripe's API definitions, which unfortunately are not 100% consistent. There's a couple of tables that are not named greatly from Stripe.
Okay.
And I see a question in chat. What is a good use case rather than going directly to Stripe? I run an e-commerce, so I'm not 100% certain about your use case, but if you are like just listening to Stripe events and then updating stuff in your table, Stripe Sync I'm going to update Stripe Sync to like have callbacks inside that you can pass a function into, which you can then receive the Stripe webhook object, and then which we can then update your Supabase tables manually, your SQL tables manually. So if you have like more complex needs, then you can just use that instead. And the philosophy behind this project is really similar to NextAuth. It's you just export a function definition. You just export a handler from that will turn into a API endpoint, which you can, and there's a lot of built-in good defaults that will save you a lot of time. So that's the main use case for this. And eventually, I will also port Stripe Sync to all the common SQL vendors, as well as, and then I'll also add Next.js middleware. I mean, Next.js Cloudflare Worker support soon. You could contribute that if you'd like as well. And if you have any questions or comments, our GitHub issues are always open.
Cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Do you have any like issues that you've created already with the Hacktoberfest?
It's just a to-dos for now, but then if you see one you really want to do, just file an issue.
Okay, cool. I had a question as well. I saw this bunny.md file. What's that about?
Okay, that's I use bunny.md in all my projects to like write down stuff that's on my mind, so just ignore that.
Okay. I thought it was probably some sort of proprietary thing, or
Yeah, no, it's a weird quirk in all my projects. But yeah.
Cool. Yeah, this looks like a really neat project, nice project to work with. I guess another question I had was, you seem to have covered a lot of the features that the Supabase Stripe Sync engine hasn't covered as yet. Is there a reason why you didn't try to contribute to the Supabase Stripe?
So the way Supabase's Stripe engine works is I'm pretty sure they manually define the tables and like the columns and the corresponding values. I decided to just parse stripes. They have a JSON file, a massive JSON file. It's an open API file. And I just decided to parse that, turn it into SQL, so you can have all the tables. And I also did, this project also runs on Supabase's Deno edge functions, like Thor mentioned earlier.
Right.
We could technically port Supabase's sync engine to that, but yeah.
Cool.
No, I mean when Stripe Sync was started, right? But like Supabase edge functions didn't exist, so it's like the funny thing, right? We're like on a timeline here where Supabase only exists for like 2 years now or something, and so that's pretty incredible. But yeah, I think actually Koppel mentioned this as the idea of like sync engine porting it over to edge functions, and so yeah, pretty awesome project, and obviously using the Stripe Open API specs to like generate the schema. Yeah, that's great idea as well. Awesome. Lawrence, anything else you want to share? Any other maybe non-Supabase related projects you're working on?
Okay, let's see. Right now I'm working on a project called TSQ. It's a way to to do cron jobs in queues and it's end-to-end type safe, but it's still in the works. But you can find the links on my Twitter, it's Lawrence C. Chen. And yeah, you might have seen a Reddit clone that's on Supabase I made a while ago, so that's another project I'd like to shout out. And yeah, that'll probably be all from me.
Cool. Is it fine to share your Twitter in the chat?
Sure, that'll be great.
Cool. Right. Hey, Ari. Are you here?
Yeah, I think at this point, of course, Lawrence, you're very welcome. If you have stuff to work on, to drop off, or you can stay on, whatever you want. But thanks so much for joining us, and yeah, thanks for contributing to Supabase and working with Supabase. And hopefully, next time we'll see you with your SuperCap.
All right, Thank you all. Take care. Bye.
Cool.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Just to be sure that I don't say your name incorrectly, can you say it for us so that we get it right?
Hi, Andrew. You can call me Aris actually, but in Indonesia it's called Aris.
Okay, cool. Now I'm confused because you just gave me 2 options.
Nah, you just call me Aris or whatever you comfortable with it.
Okay, Aris. Okay. Wait, why do we have two Thors? Oh, okay, now.
Yeah, no, I'm back. My laptop is back alive, so I think we should be good to close my phone. Oh, all right. That was stressful. I was just, like 10 minutes before the stream, I was like opening my laptop, and it's like out of battery, and I plug it in, and nothing charges, like none of the chargers, and then it's just. I don't know, the MacBook Air. It might also have been because I was cycling in the rain, and I think some water trickled in, and so sometimes I have a bit of an issue with the connection. Anyway, very very happy we made it. We made it work. Aris, very good to have you on the stream. If you don't know Aris, he's one of our Supabase experts. So he has an, I guess, developer agency. Actually, you should check out his website. I think you recently updated the website, and I think it looks really cool. We probably can share that.
Thank you.
Yeah, Aris, do you want to introduce yourself and what you do?
Okay, hi. But first thing first, I hope you guys doesn't not speaking English too fast, because I still need to improve my English, especially in verbal. So I'm good with texting, but in speaking, I need to improve my English. Sure. So my name is Aris Aris Ripandi. So I'm a software engineer in one company in Indonesia, previously in Malaysia. Last month, I'm building a macOS application. It's called Authentic. This application is an authenticator. So if you know Google Authenticator or OT and so on, this application works like that. So can I share my screen?
Yes. Yeah.
Sure.
Does it work for you?
Wait a minute. Okay.
There we go. You're on.
So this is authenticator application that compatible with Google Authenticator. So why I'm building this application, because when we try to log in to one service, let's say social media or anything else, to increase the security, we need to activate the two-factor authentication, right? So instead of I'm taking my phone,
Oh, I think we might be having maybe Aris' laptop is also making him trouble.
Yeah, I think there's a network issue.
But that website is looking great. Look at that.
It is. And his personal website looks quite cool as well. I just checked it out.
Yeah.
Really like it.
Yeah, it's doing some awesome stuff. I think he's he's in Indonesia, maybe I think Jakarta, and that's pretty amazing. Okay, so now we lost him. Okay, maybe we can, in the meantime, let's see, we can share. I can share my screen, and maybe we can just showcase his website.
Yeah.
Let me see. I think we got him back.
Okay, cool.
Hey, I think you're having issues with your laptop as well.
Yeah, actually, I got trouble with my network. Sorry about that.
Oh.
So, wow, that's my side.
Yeah.
Yes, we're just talking about it. I know, like it looks really great. Do you actually draw
Thank you.
these yourself?
Actually, the illustration not mine, but so currently there is so many free illustration available in internet, right? So I took
Yeah.
the this that image to my set, and you know what? My set isn't finished isn't finished. So if you can, as you can see, there is so many lot of ipsum like that, something like that.
Yeah,
But yeah, it looks great.
it looks good.
Thank
Look
you.
at this, and sharing is caring. Yes. So yes, a lot of open source projects. Oh, I like this. This is a nice.
Sure.
And oh, so I guess authentic. Here it is. Oh, you have a desktop app as well.
So I think that's been archived.
Archived. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Maybe.
That's because
Aris,
I
do you
moved
want to try?
this.
Sorry. Try sharing your screen again, and then. Um,
It's back on. Okay, let's go. Sharing your screen.
Okay. So let's back to the topic. This authenticator was nominated in most. I mean, I forgot what is. If I'm not wrong, this nominated as most impressive technology, right? This one.
yes.
Yeah. I have moved this repository to new one because I want to improve this application not only for desktop, not only for macOS, but I want this authentic application available in Windows, Linux, or other platform. So I moved to monorepo. The current repository using the current project using NX for the monorepo, and still using Tauri, this one, for the desktop application. And I'm building this application, this authentic, using Supabase as a backend. Why? Because Supabase is, I think, when we building an application, especially need an application an API, there is so many effort we need to build only for the backend, right? But I want make an application available as soon as possible in many platform, and Supabase is a better solution right now. Of course, I can use the database, I can use the authentication, I can use the cloud function, I can use the storage. But in this case, in authentic, I only use authentication and the database, something like this. So as you can see, the whole data in Supabase are encrypted. So when we add something to this authenticator, will generate the OTP code or two-factor authentication code, and the submitted data to Supabase to the backend. Everything are encrypted. So even I can see what your data. I can see the real data or the real number, generated number or anything else. in Supabase. So anyone can use this application. Anyone can use authentic authenticator, and even better, you can build yourself.
Oh, I think
Did we lose him again?
I think the network is.
Yeah. I was getting quite good actually. I actually
Yeah.
like this, but he's going to these
It's like a
clouds.
cliffhanger. Okay, I think we got you back.
Can you hear me?
Maybe just-
Yep,
Yes.
yep, got you back.
Sorry, we lost you for
Okay.
maybe 20 seconds.
I don't know. Today, I think this because last night we have heavy rain. So
Okay.
in my town, if we have a rain, the provider has a degradation quality. So
Yeah.
let's make to build authentic, you only need Rust and Node.js. That's the thing only you need. This is because authentic has using Tauri for the desktop application. Tauri is basically using Rust and Node.js ecosystem. Why I'm using Tauri and why I'm not using Electron? This is because I don't want to spend many megabyte, too many storage only for small application or only for small utilities application like authentic. As you can, if you can see, the the binary size of the application built with Tauri is very small. Usually, Electron will authentic. Sorry. You can see this is only took 6 megabyte or 7 megabyte in your laptop in your machine. If we compare with Electron base like Run.js or other application that use Electron as the base, this will took 100 or sorry, I think so many storage only for the application, right? And you know what? If using Tori, we can use Rust for the uh, for the binding many function. So we can create function in Rust and then call it in React. So authentic actually using React JS for the front end. And let's take a look. And as you can see, this is uh, using Tailwind CSS. So we can combine between web technology and low level system technology to build an amazing desktop application with small binaries with small binders output. Okay, and then for the Supabase, besides the data encrypted, also I don't have to spend many effort for building authentication, right? Because Supabase already have cool authentication system. So if I sign out from this one and then you can see this is so fast and so fascinating, and I even not writing any API for building this application. Everything, any API, any backend handle by Supabase. That's why I love Supabase. That's why Supabase is cool. You can
I
see.
agree.
Okay, I will show you how this application work. For example, I will log into my Autocricket account. So when this window prompt, this two-factor authentication prompt, you only need to click this button, this number, then paste into this field, and we can go just like that. It's so simple, So I don't know if you maybe if you want to try this application, this is really cool, and even better you want to contribute to the application, authentic application, I will be happy. I think that's
That's
all
amazing.
because I
Can
don't
you
know.
also show us how to add a new 2FA?
Sure. For example, I will use dummy authenticator, OTP code. OTP code. So we can validate the code. If you see, as you can see, this site provide a generator to OTP code. So when I use authenticator, it should be same output with this one. Let's say dummy. Let's say reset.com, or maybe is at supabase.com, maybe. With code.
You never know.
Sorry, item already exists. Okay, I will generate another one. Right. You can see the number is same with this TOTP generator.
Yes.
And if we look into the database, I didn't know where is the data, right? So because all data in Supabase are already encrypted. I don't know.
Maybe if you have a created at timestamp.
I don't know which one you.
Yeah.
But we only know from the created time or updated time, but we don't know which data, or even, you know what, I can decrypt this data because the data totally encrypted by this application, and the encryption using Rust and binding to the React front end, like that, something like that.
So all your encryption happens in the application itself and not in the database.
Sorry, can you repeat, Andre?
So does all the authentication happen in the application itself and not in the database?
Yeah. The encryption process, and then the decryption process, it's all inside the authentic application, authentic authenticator. not in the database. So of course, in last month, if I'm not wrong, Supabase has SOC 2 compliant, like right. So this makes sure that even the data encrypted inside the database, inside the my database or your database, your project database, Supabase will make sure this is because Supabase has been SOC 2 compliant. This is more guarantee that our data is secure.
Yeah, so with Supabase we have encryption at rest, but it still means that you can see the data, but for you, Aris, you don't even want to see the data, so you're just sending it all encrypted already to the database, right? Nice, that's awesome.
So that's why
it looks really great.
Thank you. I think I need to improve this application because currently it's only available for macOS, but for Windows, I will release in maybe, I don't know, maybe in next month or couple months, because right now I still have another primary jobs or primary things to do.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, if anyone wants to contribute, if you're familiar with kind of the different deploy targets or like Windows, Linux, you can contribute as it's an open source project. And I think we have it here in the chat as well. So this is github.com/authentic-app. Nice.
Yep.
Great. I mean, you work on so many projects. Is there any other projects you want to highlight, or anything else you want to shout out, even if it's not Supabase related?
Actually, I have one thing to share with anything with you all. Is because this is one. Thank you for the cool cap.
Nice, it arrived.
It's cool, right?
That's
it's
great.
Cool, right?
Yes. And the fun fact, it's actually from Indonesia as well, the cap.
Yeah, when I see the production label, wow, this is made in Indonesia. So actually, this cap from Indonesia to Singapore and then back to Indonesia. That's and I have to waiting for a couple of days to for this cap, for these cool caps.
Yeah, no, it's a funny.
I think that's all, guys.
Yeah, it's a funny story actually. I made the cap, or the first prototype of the Supabase cap when I was on vacation in Bali, and so I just walked into the snapback shop there in Canggu, and I was like, "Oh, here, this is the Supabase logo. Can you put that on a cap?" And they were like, "Yeah, can." And so it turned out really like a really great cap, and so I was like, "Oh, this is too good to not share with the community." And so, yeah, it's amazing.
So when you back to Canggu or Bali, you can inform me, or you can maybe we can do some coffee break.
Yes,
together.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I think we're probably actually planning something soon. So I'll make sure to let you know when we're back in Indonesia.
Yeah, that will be cool.
Yeah. So the great thing is from Singapore, it's very close. It's like a 2-hour flight to get to Indonesia. Actually, you can get to Indonesia with a 45-minute ferry ride from Singapore, because Indonesia is a lot of different islands, right? And so there's actually 2 islands that are very, very close to Singapore, and you can actually just take a boat ride, like 30, 40 minutes. And you're over there.
Yeah, you can use speedboat from Singapore to Indonesia actually, and from Singapore to Batam. Batam is part of Indonesia too. With speedboat, you can took about 40 minutes, I think, or 1 hour. So Singapore in Indonesia is Singapore with Indonesia is very close.
Yeah.
Also with other neighbor like Malaysia.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm actually planning a road trip to Malaysia soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
And
I've never been
by
to
the
that
way,
part of the world.
talking about Singapore, Indonesia, and Malaysia, and you know what, guys? Actually, Thor and I came from the future, right? Because today is Friday, and this event is, yeah.
Yes, that
So
is
we came
correct.
from the future.
Happy Friday, everyone. And to the people in New Zealand who are even way further in the future, happy weekend. Almost. They're already in the pub over there in New Zealand.
Technically, I'm in
Yeah.
Friday as well because I'm in UTC and it's now 101. So I think it's anyone in US who would still be in yesterday.
Yes, that's it. I think on that we can wish everyone a happy Friday. Well, the US folks, soon you'll have a whole Friday ahead of you. Yes, and Aris, thanks so much for joining us, and also thanks again to Esti and Lawrence, and actually thank you to everyone who's building with Supabase, who's building open source projects. At Supabase, we're open source. We utilize open source projects. We contribute back to them. And, if there's anything there that already exists that, can give us the functionality that we need, then we won't reinvent the wheel, but rather we will use kind of existing open source projects and contribute back. I think in the case of maybe the PG GraphQL, we decided to put GraphQL into the database. So there we kind of reinvented the wheel. So maybe we're not always true to that, but in most scenarios, as long as it works for what we're trying to do. And so that's also, where we're using the Dino runtime. It's open source. You can run it locally. Although I think actually I was at the Cloudflare meetup recently, and they actually open sourcing the Cloudflare workers runtime as well. So that's great. Everything open source.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe we'll get there eventually.
Oh yeah.
All right, and on that, we'll let Andrew go to sleep. Actually, Andrew, in the back, is that your laptop that you're running on, and you're just running a lot of long cables? Or?
No. That's my old laptop, which has a whole bunch of stickers on it.
It looks great. It makes for a great,
It's a prop
great
now.
sort of centerpiece. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we'll let you go to sleep. Aris, thanks so much for joining us. Have a great Friday and weekend ahead, and hopefully meet you in person soon.
Indeed.
Yeah, sure.
And
thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Thor.
No problem, man.
Thank you, everyone.
Everyone else who tuned in.
All right, and we will see you not next week. We're taking a little break next week. We're all contributing, but then we'll be back for another Hacktoberfest happy hour on October 27th/October 28th, depending what time zone you're in. And we're actually moving to European time zone for that one, because we have a friend from Germany joining, Philip, who is also creating some awesome open source projects. All right, yeah, so stay tuned for that. Obviously, we'll put it out on the Twitter. So if you just follow the Supabase Twitter, you get all of that. All right, see you then. Bye-bye.
Here.